Welcome back to Contemplative Roots and my last go at this inner journey, which I hope is more reflective. I think just to say at the beginning that to make this inner journey, we have a lot stacked against us. We live in a very rational world that values the mind and really thinks that the mind is the only game in town. There is a movement towards embodiment, certainly within Christian circles, an embodied faith, but it's against the tide. Now, rationalism, a rational view of life, is hugely important. Science has come out of that, and science is brilliant. It's taught us a lot about God and the way he made the world and the way we are. And so I'm not wanting to go against that, but just to recognise that push. And I think the Christian faith has always had that push. The letters, the New Testament letters, I'm now sensing the pull of Greek rationalism. And there is that sort of warring between a more embodied Jewish faith that Jesus presented and is in the Old Testament, and this draw towards rationalism. And the extreme form of that is Gnosticism, which is about having an inner knowledge that I have that knowledge and other people don't have that knowledge. And that is a distortion of the gospel. Because as Jesus said, God reveals things to people of limited intellectual understanding and somehow hides things from the wise. That we all need to become childlike if we are to grasp the full weight of faith. So we're up against it as we try to go down the well, to use one image, to find that water of life deep inside us. Or climbing the mountain is better. It's hard to climb the mountain. So let me try and give you some ways of doing this. It's about a daily practice of stillness, and it's about disconnecting or disengaging from our minds a bit. Now, obviously, it's our minds that are doing everything, but it's allowing the focus of our minds, taking the focus of our minds from our mind and what we're thinking and overthinking to our bodies. And I think the best book that I found for this is Mindfulness, a Practical Guide to Finding Peace in a Frantic World by Mark Williams and Danny Penman. I know a few of you have bought the book, and some of you have got in touch with me and said that you found it helpful. Take some processing. Someone last night said she needs to read it again. Fair enough, at some point. I could do with reading again myself, I think. There's so much in it, but it just moves us away into our bodies. And then I would suggest a breath prayer. So a daily practice, and in your practice, you'll do other things in your prayer, but have some time just to be still. And maybe use the word deeper, just to go deeper inside yourself, trusting that you will find treasures in your heart and treasures in your soul. That sense of God dwelling within you, abiding in you, and carrying God around with you. And so much, I think, of the Christian life is not so much what we say and what we do, although they are important, but letting the Spirit spill out of us. And I think this helps us do that. So going deeper, and focusing on connecting with God, and you might use the words your love, just to focus yourself on the God who you're meeting in your soul. Your love, your love. Breathing on your, breathe out on love. Connecting. It gives a purpose, an intention to that time of contemplative prayer, of connecting more deeply with God so that he can bring deep change inside us. Take your time. It's taken me years to get my head around some of these ideas. And it hasn't all been plain sailing. Oh no, that's wrong. And then I've come back to, oh yeah, maybe there is something in all of this. So take your time. Don't rush it. But maybe come back and jot down. Maybe one of these videos has been helpful and you want to come back to it. Well, it's going to be there and you can come back to it. They're all collected together on the church website, or you can go into YouTube and find them if you follow me on YouTube, as 41 of you do. Thank you. So I hope that was helpful. I think that's enough for today, and I'll move on to centering prayer later on in the week. Thank you, and God bless you.